I want to do a little pruning on my Western Hemlock. It's early fall, and I haven't really ever done substantial pruning on this, but it's now 3 years from collection. I've just let it grow, and my goal right now is just to prune it back a little bit. I don't plan on cutting any major branches, although I'm not sure what I'll do today. But I'm just going to cut it back to encourage budding, to keep the budding close to the trunk and not to extend that much further. This tree's done really well for me. Really didn't mind collection. I think part of that's because I've kept it in this fairly large pot, and yeah, so it's doing pretty well. So I'm just going to take off some of the wire too that's been put on here, and it's been on here a while, at least a year, maybe more. So I'm going to take that off and just kind of prune the tops, prune these extensions a little bit, and we'll see what else I do. And I honestly don't have a clear idea for the styling for this tree. I know I'm not fighting its nature too much. Really, it's unusual in that it kind of has this deciduous type looking style to it, but it's a conifer, an evergreen conifer. So yeah, I don't really know exactly where I'm gonna go with it. My goal, of course, right after collection was just keep it alive and get it healthy, and I've succeeded in that. One thing I like about this tree is I've kept it fairly wet, and it doesn't seem to mind that. So it's not like a pine, and that you have to be really careful not to overwater. So I've really liked it, and I love the needles on this tree. They're so small and fine. I got it near where we almost every year my family and I get a Christmas tree in the forest with a permit from the Forest Service, and I collect this tree near there. And most years when we go and collect a Christmas tree, I'm kind of going, I try and get my wife to agree to a Western Hemlock Christmas tree. But for whatever reason, she does not like the foliage on Western Hemlocks. I don't understand why. So I've never gotten a Western Hemlock Christmas tree. But I have this tree, and I enjoy decorating this tree at Christmas. I'll be sure to film that here in a couple months. I have these little tiny Christmas ornaments I like to put on it, and maybe I'll even get some lights for it. So I have, I guess, my bonsai Christmas tree. But yeah, we usually get a Douglas fir or a grand fir, usually grand fir Christmas tree. It's a spot in the National Forest just about an hour from our house. So this tree, grew up just an hour from this location. I think that's one reason why it's done so well for me too. It's a great climate for Western Hemlock here. I guess I haven't really looked for inspiration. How do I want to style this? What do I want to make of this? I just don't know, really. But I enjoy its current structure, how it is. It's a pleasant image in my mind. I love the undergrowth I have going here. This is like native plants, except for some plants, or one plant in particular. I can't remember the name now that I did plant here. Other than that, all this is just native from the forest. I mean, I don't know if it's native or invasive species necessarily, but it just came with the tree, and I've just kind of let it be. I trim it back a little bit, the undergrowth a little bit, but I like it because it's meant to simulate the forest where it's come from. Looks like a forest floor. And I was thinking about moving this to a smaller pot eventually, but if it's not broken, don't fix it, is kind of my thought right now. at least. And you know why the tree's doing so well, and it's a confer and you don't want to move them around too much, you know, I'm just gonna let it be. What I have been doing though is replacing some of the forest soil with bonsai soil each year, just like a small percentage, maybe 20%. So I'll probably do that in the spring again. I'll replace some of the forest soil with more bonsai soil, and that seems to be working well for the tree. Okay, I think I got all the wire off, so I'll get back to pruning. I've kind of thought, I have been playing around with it a little bit. I've thought about an angle change at times. But for now, I know I just want to push it back because it's extended quite a bit, and I can let it extend indefinitely, but just to keep the density up close, I want to take some of that extension off today, right now. And usually before I start working on a tree, I've been doing this. I was going to work on my larch a little bit, but then reading online in preparation, apparently it's really not a great time to prune larch in the fall. That's a big generalization. I think I was reading about Japanese larch. I don't have a Japanese larch, I have an American larch. But yeah, so I'm thinking, well, maybe I won't prune my larch. But I do know, I think it's Bonsai Mirai, Species Care Guide for Western Hemlock, indicated that early fall is a good time to prune new hemlocks. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so I'm going to step back and look at it, see where I might want to prune more off. Alright, so step back, looked at it, and you know, because I don't have a really strong idea of how I want to style this, I'm not exactly sure what else I need to prune. Besides what I just did, and that's to basically prune the extensions off. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do with this tree. It's like, is it good? Is it finished? Is this the design? I'll prune the understory here a little bit. So yeah, I'll open it to viewers, open to your ideas. If you have an idea, you know, like, what should I do with this tree? Is it just as good as it is? Would you do some drastic, you know, shorten it or tilt it? I know it'd be really hard to you know exactly what you'd want to do with a tree, just viewing you know, a 2-day image on the internet. But yeah, not really sure what to do with it. I guess, I mean, I like it, so maybe, again, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Just enjoy it for what it is. And I do definitely enjoy this tree. I actually have a little, this is a Western red cedar right here, which I enjoy growing understory. Not sure what these are. I've been pruning these back too. It's a broadleaf, some broadleaf species. Not sure what it is. I have a little, looks like a Colorado blue spruce growing in here. Got some nice moss. Yeah. So I'll just, you know, maybe trim it back a little bit, keep a little bit more, keep going a little bit. I did notice right here it's really dense, so I debated whether maybe I should just take some of these branches out. I think I will. Just make it a little less dense in here. Alright, I think I'm going to leave it there. And yeah, maybe I'll clean up a little bit more off camera as I stare at it. But yeah, I think that's where I want to leave it for right now. Alright, back again. So I was staring at my footage and thinking, okay, is there any more I want to trim? I'm trimming now. And I do realize now what I do want to do to improve the tree, because what I've done now is just to maintain it, but I'm like, how can I improve this? I think what I want to do is I do want to shorten it. To make this trunk look bigger, make it look older, I am going to take it back, not drastically, but I'm going to take off some of these big top branches just to shorten the height of the tree. So yeah, I'm gonna go for it. I was just imagining the tree, and it actually helps. It's really hard when you're up here styling a tree. It's hard to do that. It was really helpful for me to step back, look at my camera, I kind of look at a picture of it, and say, okay, what would make this a better bonsai? And I think if I cut it here and make it shorter, I think that would make it a better bonsai. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna cut this big top branch right here. I'm going to cut this branch, and it's the top of the tree, so it grows the most vigorously here. So that's another reason why I thought, well, let's make it a little less vigorous up top. So I cut that down, and now I need to decide whether how far I want to cut it down. If I want to leave it there or not. I'm going to step back. And so now I think I like the top now, but the side right here, I want to bring this in a little bit, so I do want to reduce this branch quite a bit as well. Because I'm a fan of the rounded top. I feel like is Dan Robinson that said, you know, old trees don't have pointy tops, they have round tops. I think he's right in general. An old conifer has not necessarily a pointed top, it's more rounded. And it's been great pruning this tree because I have so many buds on this. There's so much growth that it's easy. I'm not too concerned because I prune back and there's plenty of green left on the tree. Oh yeah, I'm liking that a lot better. I'm looking at it from the back of the camera now. And yes, oh, I do like that much better. Just shortening it made it look like an older tree. And I kind of want to make it more asymmetrical, so I think I am going to prune the side that I have been pruning here on the viewer's left. Yeah, I'm going to keep that side kind of shorter to give it just a little bit of asymmetry. And that's what I wonder about changing the angle of this tree maybe to make it a little less. It's just kind of just straight upright, very symmetrical, and that's fine. You know, a lot of trees look like that. But for this right now, I think I might leave it about right here. I kind of like it. Alright, I'm going to call that good. I like that. I'm really glad I reduced the height a little bit. Much better. So here's where I left it. I want to show how much I pruned off in total. I'd say about 20%. And didn't prune off any major branches, mainly just reduced the extension growth, and did cut quite a bit off the top. But yeah, I'm liking the way it looks, and now I'm just gonna let it grow.